So, sir, your work is heavily rich in impeccable artisanship and craft, I must say. And recently, with the whole Prada versus Kolhapuri artisan debate, how do you see this? Where do you stand? And also this whole conversation about cultural appropriation and cultural appreciation. What's your take on it?
See, my personal opinion on anything other than plagiarism, which is absolutely not okay. But other than that, I think if
a woman was raped in a moving ambulance in Gaya in Bihar, 2 people have been taken into custody. Congress's Udit Raj compares Rahul Gandhi to Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. BJP slams the Congress over this comparison. Piyush Goyal lauds India-UK FTA deal, calling it a win-win and a game-changing deal. Mission Chola triggers a political storm. BJP's Annamalai speaks to NDTV, says that the Prime Minister wants to make Cholas global while the DMK are keeping them local.
Presented by Canara Bank. Together we can.
In a country brimming with ambition, it's often not the lack of opportunities, but rather the access to these opportunities which holds back our best and brightest. When people are given the right skilling, it opens doors not just to the right job or the right career, but the control over their future and freedom. Today, we're bringing you 2 such stories where skilling has transformed livelihoods. At IIT Madras, students have gathered in their thousands for the Institute's annual Techno-Cultural Sports Festival, Paradox. What makes this festival truly unique is that for many of these students, this festival is their first experience of campus life.
So being here, I got to meet so many new people, like many friends.
I'm too excited for meeting my fellow students. Meeting our peers, especially professors in this degree. It was a joyful experience for me.
I was waiting for this Herbalife conference.
Paradox is the student-run festival of IIT Madras's BS degree programs. The BS in Data Science and Applications is India's first online undergraduate degree, open to anyone who has completed class 12 without a JEE requirement. These students come from every corner of India. Rural villages, small towns, big cities, united by a dream to learn and grow. And supporting them in this dream is Herbalife India. In a powerful collaboration, Herbalife has partnered with IIT Madras to support 1,000 scholarships for students of the BS degree in Data Science and Applications. This isn't your usual college fest. Most of these students study remotely, and this is their chance to connect in person. But their journey here started with a simple click and a scholarship that changed everything. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us here. Really wonderful program that you're running here in association, of course, with the work that Herbalife is doing. We'll come to all of that. Perhaps we start by really talking about this online, the BSc program that you have. Where did the seed, the germ of that idea really come about? What is the program about? Why did you feel the need for that?
I think if you look at the context of higher education in India, the picture is really a very interesting picture. You know, when you have the institutes at the very top, the IITs and the branded ones, they are either very, very difficult to get into. Right? You have to give up your childhood, you know, work very hard for a long time. Either you have to do that or you have to pay a lot of money. In fact, it's a combination of both, because a good branded higher education degree today is 25-30 lakhs.
Definitely not cheap in India or anywhere for that matter.
Anywhere for that matter. That's very true. But what can public institutions like IIT do in such a scenario? So a lot of us have been thinking about it. We've been thinking about outreach. We did a program called NPTEL for a long time, through which we did certification in large scale, and we saw that it really, really worked. We could reach a large group which may not be able to compete and get into the IITs, but they can still learn from us. The competition is what's limiting, not what we are teaching. So once we realized that, we thought we should offer a program like this, and the coming together of data science, ML, computer science type topic was ideal, because it is something that we could teach online. So the combination of all these things, I think, resulted in a program like this. And I would say the primary goal for IITM was definitely to reach the unreached.
Herbalife, of course, is very closely associated with this program. Can you talk to us about that association?
Yeah, so Herbalife has been supporting particularly financially needy students to go through this program. The fee for this program is reasonably low, but still, for the kind of people we are trying to target, the really needy folk, they need the support. They need the support to pay the fee, because quite often they're doing other things. They're working on the side to support their family. They're working so many other things, and on top of that, doing an IIT quality degree is very hard. Now, when a company like Herbalife comes in and supports these students, the difficulty that they're constantly holding on top of their shoulders, saying, I have to support this thing, I have to support this thing, on top of that, earn enough money to pay this fee, that's gone. And then they focus really on
huge worry really is lifted, and they can focus on their
Many of them live month to month, I mean, it's hard for richer people to imagine, but this is very true in many parts of the country.
What's the future of a program like this, both for you at IIT Madras as well as for the students themselves who are perhaps going through this?
Yeah, I think this program has been shaping up wonderfully well now. It's been 5 years since we are running this program. Batches of students are beginning to graduate. They're getting into jobs. They're getting higher education. They're getting internships very early. Well, that's important for this financial segment, right? Because they have to work and study at the same time. So all of that is happening. And armed with this success, IITM is now thinking, is already running many other outreach programs.
It was interesting to see that the composition that you have of male to female students, where female students are concerned, programs like STEM, you typically don't see a lot of women, but you have a high percentage of
Very
women.
high. I think in IITs, we struggle to fill the 20% required quota. Here, we already have 27%, which I think is good. It's not very great, but it's good, for a program like this. We hope with the other programs I spoke about, the more economics, finance, management style programs, we will hit much harder now, higher numbers in those things as well.
What is that entrepreneurial responsibility? Let me ask you. Herbalife, and we are also when we are doing engineering in the city, sir.
But it has been a very big player, and
We've seen, a lot of the work that Herbalife is doing, working closely with women, closely with children from marginalized communities. Very interesting to understand, really. Let's start first by talking about this huge program that you do at IIT Madras, talking about the things that you do, right? Paradox 2025. Where did that idea, that initiative really come about?
Well, this, first when we had this interaction with IIT, we were very impressed by their ability to engage with youth, okay? They were able to attract students from all over the country. There were students, and very diverse background. There were students from farming community, the students who were like kids of Anganwadi workers, students of electrical technicians. These are the students who are our future generations, right? So what we thought is, let's engage these students. It's not only supporting them financially, but engaging them through mentorship, through wellness sessions, and then making them aware about why health is the key. So when you look at the theme of this event, unlocking the secret of holistic wellness, this aligned very well with our mission of living your best life. And that's where we thought that, we can make a meaningful change to these youths. Yeah?
We met up with a lot of the students who received the scholarship from Herbalife, and each of them has spoken quite passionately about how getting the scholarship has changed their entire life. Why choose these students? How did you do that?
So, we had a discussion with their dean and the program manager. They really did a fantastic job. They went all out to screen those students, okay, trying to make sure that, the deserving students get the scholarship. In addition to that, as a company, we strongly believe in gender equality and inclusivity. So, we requested with them that why not reserve a part of this scholarship for women or girls' child, right? And very happily they agreed.
So, actually data showing that women may be entering these STEM courses, but halfway through they drop out, or they're not entering, professional jobs that have to do with STEM. My question is to do more with how it aligns with your broader goals. Why encourage women, like you're saying, in these STEM courses?
when we look at women, the role that they play in the society, whether in the form of a mother, in the form of a sister, or in the form of a child, they are so socially inclusive, right? And they can, in fact, I can tell you, when we also have done some research, and when you empower one woman in one family, okay, that transforms many more lives in the family. So we believe that investing into women for STEM is going to make a big difference for generations to come.
Incredible stories, all of the students who've been selected by Herbalife and what the scholarship means. What was it like finding out that you had gotten the scholarship?
In diploma level, there is a slight increasing in, the fee level. And I took care of myself by my own, by the internship fee, and it was little less
you mean
to
you
manage.
paid the entire thing?
Yeah, but it was little less to manage the whole subjects, because in diploma I took almost 5 subjects. So yeah, at that time I got the mail that I have been chosen to be awarded with the scholarship, and it was literally magical. I mean, it's beyond imagination that they helped me a lot. And truly and sincerely, grateful to Herbalife for providing me this and awarding me this scholarship.
When I got the email that I have selected for the scholarship, the feeling was joyful. And after scholarship, my fee reduced to 50 to 60%.
It was really important for me because my father passed away recently, and at that time it was the time for the course registration. I had to pay the fee. So I got a little bit of fee reduction based on my income level. Still it was a bit too much to pay at that time, and that was the time when I got this scholarship. So because of this, I didn't have to pay any money in this term. So I was really grateful for this opportunity to get the scholarship from Herbalife.
Going ahead, give us some of what your dreams like. You were saying you're inspired by your brother who's doing something, a similar course?
Yeah, my elder brother, he's also in the field of data science and AI, and he's my inspiration. I'm heavily inspired by him. He's such a great person, and he's the one who suggested me this course. So yeah, I want to be like him and make a really great career in this field.
You seem really excited. The scholarship has meant a lot for you. What's it like being on campus, meeting all the other students? Yours is an online course, so it must be very different coming here.
Yeah, I was waiting for this Herbalife conference because as they already provided us the scholarship, I was curious to know about the story, about who decided and how they will proceed with us and giving us the opportunity.
It is a huge joyful experience for me because meeting our peers, especially professors in this degree, it was a joyful experience for me.
Since it's an online degree, we don't get to meet our colleagues and fellow students. So being here, I got to meet so many new people, many friends, and also here people come from all over the India, different states, cultures. So I made friends from many different states. So I got to know about their life.
From digital to real, these students are proof that aspirations and ambition can become reality when the right support system is in place. This is more than a degree. It's a movement, a new kind of classroom, a new kind of campus, a new kind of India, one where learning belongs to everyone.
Vanakkam Tamil Nadu.
Well, the battle for Tamil Nadu 2026 is open now.
After Chief Minister Stalin rolls up his sleeves.
And Vijay steps in as a star challenger.
This is a mass gathering, not for cash.
Meanwhile, a former Chief Minister, Edapadi Palanisamy, begins his fight back.
The big comeback campaign by EPS has well and truly begun.
These are all the ultimate players, and this is going to be the ultimate test.
Well, in the latest episode of Control All Defense, we are talking about a platform that all of you want to hear about, that's Tejas. The big question, we do know it's a great platform, but is it of use for the Indian Air Force going into the future? How relevant will it remain?
I've been reporting on all issues big and small from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, rest of South India, bringing you all the action, all that you need to know, all that you want to know.
The energy of Maximum City is infectious. I'm bringing that energy in our news coverage from financial capital Mumbai.
Covering from the southernmost part of India over the last 23 years, I bring in-depth and 360-degree coverage from the Dravidian heartland.
The land of Mishti, also known for its bitter politics. I have seen much water flow under the Howrah Bridge, covering Bengal in all its vivid colors.
India's IT capital is always bustling, a city full of startups, stories and surprises. And I keep you ahead on all the Bengaluru buzz.
You know, thinking about something like this, like a Supercross, why did you think that I should invest here? Because we know that you love for sports. But why bikes?
I just think you should put, what is that? Your money where your mouth is? Huh? Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's, I mean, they call it a niche sport and stuff like that. I just don't think.
From nurturing young minds to uplifting women, Herbalife India has proven that its vision extends far beyond education. In Bangalore, it's shifting the gears on gender roles, sustainability and livelihood. The Eco Wheels Women's Initiative is more than just a driving school. It's a pathway to independence. In a field traditionally dominated by men, 115 women and LGBTQI individuals are rewriting the rules, one electric auto at a time. We've been doing this, I understand, for well over 3 decades, working closely with children and women who are coming in from marginalized sections of society. Very curious to understand where your journey really started, sir.
In Shishu Mandir, I'm here for 27 years and this is a 40 years old organization. We started in a small center in Alsur. This is the 25th year of our presence in this community.
Amazing. I understand that you are largely raising funds from corporates who are amazed with the work that you do and want to partner with you, corporates like Herbalife. Just talk to us very briefly about the initiative and the association that you have with Herbalife.
It's a very big initiative the Herbalife has been doing to us. They started sending volunteers. The volunteers used to come to help our children. Then they also gave us some things in kind. And when they realized that we have started for empowering women, they said we want to come in a big way.
Initiative that you have with the female drivers, the female auto drivers, has a huge impact on their livelihoods, on their lives, has transformed their families, transformed their lives. How do you choose these women? What is this program about? Just talk to us about that.
See, all these women are either from a broken families, or husband abandoned, or husband dead. What I found, these women are working as housemaid and construction workers, not having holidays, not having time for their children, not earning enough. So we want them to have all the three. Coming to this driving school, we have trained over 1,000 people, among them 600 women we have trained. And why e-auto? Because it also helps for the environment. It is said that one electric auto running for a year, it is equivalent to carbon saved is like having 56 trees planted. And we have no place to plant trees anymore. So at least if you use vehicles like e-vehicles, you are able to save this carbon emission, and that is one reason. The second reason is these women, especially women in this community, they should become not always depend on the charity. We want them to have a self-dependence. They should earn, they should take care of their families, they should be respected, and they should be useful to society. And this project, fully, I would say, not initiated by Herbalife, but the impact of Herbalife is what has led us to this level. 115 e-autos have been given because of them. More than 200 women were trained because of them. And now we have extended this project to Chennai and Mysore because we find these women are highly successful. All the women whom we have trained are able to earn minimum of 30,000. One woman last month earned 72,000 per month last month.
Amazing.
And that is the woman who could not earn even 5,000 and she was struggling to earn, and that is the difference.
Complete transformation of their lives and their livelihoods. So how do you measure the impact of a program like this?
Yeah, I just can say simple, in simple terms I can say these women who never bought even one dress on their own with their money are able to now go to commercial street and take 20,000 and buy dresses. Second transformation that they do is their self-awareness and their confidence they have built it. They are able to talk to people. They are able to meet people. So these are the transformation that is being carried out for the women, and I am sure their next generation, their children will never depend on charity.
Each participant earns a stable income of 30,000 rupees a month. That's 3.6 lakh rupees a year. Over 5 years, this means 18 crores flowing into households that once struggled. And the ripple effect? Better education, better living, and a chance for women to lead. I want to talk about the Eco Wheels program. You work, you've empowered women who are coming from less than fortunate backgrounds and making them financially independent, and one area is of course ensuring they all have their own autos and become auto drivers. Give us a little bit of a background on how that started and what that program is.
So very interesting, we looked at what are the big challenges in city. Okay, the big challenge, I'm sure you would have faced that. It is very difficult for you to get an auto.
Every time you're trying to book a vehicle, always.
Okay, always it's one of the big challenge in a city. That's number one. The second is pollution. Okay, I mean in cities there's a huge impact of the air pollution that we see all around. Then the third one is marginalized communities, right? They don't have a meaningful employment. The task that was given to the CSR implementing partner was to get women out of the house and drive an auto. Now that was a huge task, huge change in the society, because when we interacted with some of these women, they were scared to get an auto on the road where you have buses and trucks driving together, right? And they were not willing to come out.
It's largely male dominated, right?
Of course, yeah. Of course. And there's a typical, from a society perspective, there's a stereotyping that look, this role is meant for male, okay? And we had to break that barrier in the society. That was a big challenge for us. The second one was, like I said, there is one aspect to support financially, but more than that, equipping these female drivers to make sure that they know how to drive, have the motivation to get the auto on the road, develop soft skills, including in English communication, at least the basic communication, so that they can interact with people across the country. Okay, people coming across the country into the city like Bangalore. Okay, and just make sure that they are coming out of their house and making a living, right? So that's where it all started. This project today, I'm very happy to tell you, is helping more than 1,000 families.
Pratima, it's the first time I'm sitting in an auto and doing an interview, so it's very exciting.
Please welcome.
Your life is very, very inspiring. You were talking to me about the program.
हमारा शिशु मंदिर और अर्बन लाइफ, ये है ना हम लोगों का ऐसे परिवार, जैसे हम लोग ये हिस्सा है हम लोग ये शिशु मंदिर के लिए, पर इसका बदलावा मतलब क्या है, मतलब बहुत कुछ बदलावा है। पहले मेरा हस्बैंड गुजर गया था, गुजरने का बाद हमारा लाइफ है ना इतना ऐसे मतलब हम लोग भी अच्छा था, पर वो गुजरने का बाद हमारा लाइफ है ना इतना टफ हो गया ना, मतलब रिश्तेदार अपना लोग सब लोग ऐसे छूट गया था, पर हम लोग मतलब हार नहीं मारा, अभी हम लोग पीछे नहीं देख रहे हैं, आगे बढ़ रहे हैं। पर हमारा लाइफ ऐसे बदल गया, मेरा बच्चा भी यूएस पे गया था, उसको सेलेक्ट हो गया, वो भी इतना फ्रेंडली हमारा बच्चा घर का, अभी हमारा बच्चा घर का यूएस जाने का बाद हमारा लाइफ इतना चेंज हो गया कि परिवार पूरा आ रहा है अभी हमारा साथ।
ये ऑटो चलाने का आइडिया कहाँ से आया?
हम यहाँ 5 वुमेंस लोग ड्राइविंग करता था, वहाँ हम लोग मीटिंग सभी बुला के, मंथली मीटिंग चलता है यहाँ पर, हम लोगों का बुला के उन लोगों का समझा के, हमारे को जो डरता है वो सभी ये करते हैं, उन लोगों को लेके यहाँ मीटिंग करके हमारे को इंस्पिरेशन दे देता, उसी से हम लोग यहाँ आगे बढ़ा मैडम।
ಈ ಆಟೋ ಡ್ರೈವಿಂಗ್ ಪ್ರೋಗ್ರಾಮ್ ನೀವು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಜೀವನದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನು ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಏನು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಬಂದಿದೆ?
ನಾನು ಜಾಯಿನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನನಗೆ ತುಂಬ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು, ಅರ್ಬಲ್ ಮೂಲಕ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು, ಆಟ ಮೂಲಕ. ಅದ್ರ ಮೂಲಕ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸುಸಂಬಂಧದಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಗಳು ಓದೋಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೊಂದು ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಕ್ತು. ನನಗೊಂದು ಮಗಳಿದ್ದಾಳೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೆ ಚಾನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಕ್ತು. ನಾನು ಬಂದು ಮಂಗಳಮುಖಿ, ನಾನು ಬಂದು ಅಂಗಡಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗ್ತಾಯಿದ್ದೀನಿ ಕಲೆಕ್ಷನ್ಗೆ. ಅರ್ಬಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ನಿಯವರು ಹೇಳಿದರು, ಆ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ ಒಬ್ಬರು ಹೇಳಿದರು ನಮಗೆ ಈ ಥರ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ನೋಡು ಮಾತಾಡೋ ಒಂದನ್ನು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ನನಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡೋ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಬಂದು ಕೊಟ್ಟರು. ನಮ್ಮ ಲೈಫು ತುಂಬ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದೆವು. ಒಂದು ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ಸಿಕ್ತು, ಒಂದು ಮರ್ಯಾದೆ ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಗೊಂದು ಮರ್ಯಾದೆ ಸಿಕ್ತು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕಾಸಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಏನೇನೇ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಾಸು ಬಂದುಬಿಡ್ತಾಯಿದೆ, ಆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮರ್ಯಾದೆ ಸಿಕ್ಕಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇದು ಆರ್ಬಲ್ ಮೂಲಕ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಸಿಗ್ತಾವೆ. ಆಟೋ ಡ್ರೈವರ್ ಆದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಮರ್ಯಾದೆ ಸಿಕ್ತು ಮ್ಯಾಮ್. ತುಂಬ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ಫುಲ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಸಂಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಸಂಪಾದನೆ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ, ಖರ್ಚು ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಂದು ಒಂದು ಶೇವಿಂಗ್ ಒಂದು ಕಲ್ತಿದ್ವಿ, ಶೇವಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಶಿಶು ಮಂದಿರ ಮೂಲಕ ತುಂಬ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ನಮಗೆ.
These wheels carry more than passengers. They carry dreams, dignity and change. By empowering women, Herbalife isn't just creating jobs, they're creating leaders, caregivers and change makers. And they're doing it in a way that's green, inclusive and deeply local. Whether it's a young girl logging into her first coding class or a mother driving her way away to independence, one thing connects them, and that is the power of possibilities. Now, these possibilities don't just change single lives, but uplift entire communities. Herbalife India is proving that giving meaningful opportunities at the right time changes lives and livelihoods.
Is your business future ready? Join the 13-week strategic ESG certification program for business sustainability and growth for CXO and business leaders by NDTV, Terry and Zenora. Master global ESG frameworks, gain real-world tools and lead with impact. Starts August the 23rd. Enroll now and power your business with sustainability.
Forget 10,000 steps. What if just 7,000 a day was all it took to live longer and healthier? A major new study published in the Lancet Public Health has found that walking around 7,000 steps a day is strongly associated with better health and a lower risk of dying early. Researchers analyzed data from over 160,000 adults and found that people who walk approximately 7,000 steps a day had significantly lower risks for a wide range of chronic diseases. Compared to those who walk just 2,000 steps daily, these individuals saw a 47% reduction in all-cause mortality, 25% drop in cardiovascular disease, 14% lower risk of type 2 diabetes, 22% reduction in depression, 38% decline in dementia risk, 28% fewer falls, and a 6% reduction in cancer risk. Unlike earlier studies that mostly focused on heart health or death rates, this is the first major research effort to comprehensively examine the impact of daily steps on multiple health outcomes. The review included 57 studies, of which 31 were analyzed in detail through meta-analysis, making this the most extensive data set to date on how walking affects health. Interestingly, the study also shows that even 2,000 steps per day provides better health outcomes than being inactive.
While benefits for some conditions like heart disease continue to rise beyond 7,000 steps, for most other outcomes, the gain started to plateau after this point. The authors argue that 7,000 steps per day may be a more realistic and achievable target for many people, compared to the commonly cited 10,000 step goal, which was never based on scientific evidence. They say that step count is a simple and effective way to measure physical activity, and these findings could help shape future public health recommendations. However, researchers also caution that for conditions like cancer and dementia, more studies are needed. They note that many studies didn't fully account for confounding factors like age or frailty, which could influence the results. Still, the message is clear: walking more, especially up to 7,000 steps a day, can significantly improve overall health.
Hello and welcome. You're watching the evening news. I'm Arthi Krishnan. We'll bring you the latest on Prime Minister Modi in Maldives. He's attending the Independence Day celebrations there. More on that first, the headlines. India-Maldives reset ties. Prime Minister Modi attends Maldives in Independence Day celebrations. After a woman was gang raped inside an ambulance in Bihar's Gaya, 2 people have been arrested. Chirag Paswan slams his own government over lawlessness, said it's sad to support a regime that can't protect its people. Congress's Udit Raj compares Rahul to Ambedkar, slams Congress over comparison, says why is Congress not looking for a second Nehru? India-UK ink a trade deal. Piyush Goyal calls it historic and says India's agricultural MSME sectors are set to benefit. Amid tensions between India and Pakistan, sources say India and Pakistan are going to be in the same group in the Asia Cup. Sources also indicate India may meet Pakistan thrice in the tournament. Tracking the latest for you from Maldives, in a significant development, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has participated as the chief guest at the Maldives Independence Day celebrations today. The island nation is commemorating its Diamond Jubilee, the 60th anniversary of independence, with a grand ceremony held in the capital, Malé. The presence of Prime Minister Modi at the event highlights, of course, a positive turn in the India-Maldives relationship after months of diplomatic tension. My colleague Vasudha joins us from Maldives. Vasudha, take us to the latest on ground. We're getting in visuals of the celebration that took place and Prime Minister Modi there as the chief guest.
Absolutely, Aarti. As we talk about reset of India-Maldives ties, remember that the Prime Minister has said that for India, it has always been friendship first. Maldives is an important part of India's neighborhood first policy. And there's a cultural program that's going to begin just now. And that is happening for the Prime Minister. He's seated next to President Moizu. And I can just show you a little bit of what's happening there. And yes, those visuals there, and there were parades that took place, different contingents walking past, very similar to what we see during Republic Day. And the songs there, Maldivian songs, traditional songs, also some songs that seem very similar to Indian beats. And all these women and men here, all of them, part of this function. It was President Moizu who arrived at the venue first. After that was Prime Minister Modi. Prime Minister Modi is staying at a resort here. And immediately after this, he goes to Tamil Nadu. He goes to Thoothukudi. And Aarti, you would understand this better. Maldives was also part of the Chola Empire. And the Prime Minister is also going to Thoothukudi, Tamil Nadu today for that big Chola moment. So clearly a lot of symbolism attached there, and those the cultural programs that are happening there. Just a little bit. Let me just show you. Yeah. So that's a little bit of cultural programs happening there, and the Prime Minister is seated along with Dr. S. Shankar and Jacinth Muthu. And in fact, the National Parade just got over. The cultural programs are going to go on. It's a very short program, just 1 hour. After that, the Prime Minister departs for Tamil Nadu. And in some ways, this was a visit, very symbolic, very historic, in which he has announced not just that big move to start the FTA between India and Maldives, but also to expand the line of credit for Maldives, and also, more importantly, reduce the loan payment obligations, also indulge in more social housing units. This is something that Maldives needs at this point of time. This is a country that is going through liquidity crisis. India has once again shown that it is the only dependable partner that Maldives can have. Incidentally, it's also the 60th year of diplomatic relations between India and Maldives. And today, it's not just a celebration of Maldives' Independence Day, but in some ways, it's also a commemoration of the kind of approach that India has had vis-a-vis partners. Sometimes disruptions do happen in global diplomacy, but India has shown that a steady approach and quiet diplomatic efforts work so much better than direct confrontation.
Absolutely. And Vasudha, in fact, talking about that, about the U-turn that the Maldivian government had taken place, there was a lot of hostility that was coming from not just Muizu, but many of his leaders in his cabinet as well. And we've seen a complete U-turn as well. And can this be interpreted that Maldives finally realized, like you said, that India is the only friend in this position, you know, of course, comparing it to China, which earlier we saw that Maldives was trying to perhaps cozy up to China, but we're seeing now that a complete U-turn has been taken by the country.
That's right, Aarti. Like you rightly said, there's been a complete reset of ties. But most importantly, it's also because India understood that Maldives needs emergency financial assistance. It also needs a steady approach to diplomacy. And India just did that, you know, when it comes to not indulging in direct confrontation, not really indulging in muscle flexing, not really indulging in showing that it's the big brother, but making it clear that, you know, it wants to give its neighbors the time and also place to understand, which is why even when I spoke to the High Commissioner of Maldives to India, of India to Maldives, today morning he said that the line of credit that's been extended is also, it also gives Maldives a lot of autonomy to decide where it wants to spend the money. So India is having a very calculated, calibrated approach to Maldives. Remember that it is a difficult neighborhood that India has, from Sri Lanka to Maldives to Nepal to several other countries to Bangladesh. And India does not want to take any chances here. And Maldives is strategically very important. We know that countries like China have also been investing deeply in Maldives. And for India to maintain the kind of influence it has on the Indian Ocean region, Maldives is strategically important, which is why it is helping Maldives with the kind of humanitarian aid it needs, and also with a kind of friendly support that it would expect, and that would come only from a time-tested friend.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vasudha, for joining us and bringing us those details from the ground. Shifting focus to a disturbing story coming in from Bihar, a young woman's dream to serve as a home guard has turned into a horrific ordeal, one that has now triggered shock and outrage across the country, especially over the law and order situation in Bihar. Union Minister Chirag Paswan has sharply criticized the Nitish Kumar-led government in Bihar over the rising crime in the state. This comes after a 26-year-old woman, an aspirant of home guard, was allegedly gang raped inside a moving ambulance in Bihar's Bodh Gaya. 2 accused, including the ambulance driver and technician, have been arrested in this connection so far. Chirag Paswan has said that criminal incidents are happening one after another and the administration is failing to stop them. Remember, he's also referring to the shooting incidents that had taken place and the murders that had taken place in the days earlier prior to this in Bihar. He also said that the law and order situation in the state is out of control, adding that he feels sad to be supporting a government where crime continues to be unchecked.
25 तारीख को बोध गया BMP 17 के परिसर में होमगार्ड बहाली में महिला अभ्यर्थियों की दौड़ थी, और उसी क्रम में एक महिला अभ्यर्थी जो है मूर्छित होकर के गिर गई, और काफ़ी प्रयास किया गया उसको वहीं पर रिकवर करने का, लेकिन बाद में उपस्थित व्यक्तियों ने उसे हॉस्पिटल ले जाने के लिए कहा, और पुलिसकर्मियों और अन्य उपस्थित व्यक्तियों के सहयोग से उसे एम्बुलेंस में भेज करके और NMC भेजा गया। बाद में लगभग 2:30 बजे महिला अभ्यर्थी ने यह आरोप लगाया कि एम्बुलेंस में जो कर्मी थे उनके द्वारा उसके साथ दुर्व्यवहार और दुष्कर्म किया गया है। और इस सूचना को प्राप्त होते ही हमने तुरंत अविलंब कार्रवाई की और उसका चिकित्सकीय परीक्षण प्राप्त किया।
इसमें प्रशासन की मिली भगत है और या फिर प्रशासन इस पे लीपापोती करने का कार्य कर रहा है और या फिर पूरी तरीके से प्रशासन निकम्मा हो चुका है और अब इनके बस का नहीं है बिहार और बिहारियों को सुरक्षित रखना। ऐसे में पुनः एक बार मैं बिहार सरकार से आग्रह करूंगा, ज़रूरी है समय रहते हम लोगों को इसके ऊपर कार्रवाई करने की।
राजनेताओं को बयान देने के पहले अपने गिरबान में भी झांकना चाहिए। जो लोग बिहार की कानून व्यवस्था पर सवाल खड़े कर रहे हैं, पहले ये तो सुनिश्चित करें कि उनके दल में आपराधिक प्रवृत्ति के लोगों को एंट्री नहीं मिलेगी। ये बेहद आवश्यक है कि नसीहत देना, आलोचना करना अगर केवल आपका कर्तव्य है और उससे आपकी जिम्मेदारी की तीसरी हो जाती है तो इतना काफ़ी नहीं है। देश में अपराध मुक्त किसी भी राज्य की कल्पना करना आज के दौर में बेहद मुश्किल है।
My colleague Osama Shab has more details on exactly what happened in Bodh Gaya and the rape case. Take a look.
26-year-old woman, she was among several candidates taking part in the Home Guard physical efficiency test in Gaya earlier this week. Now, during that test, the woman collapsed on the field, reportedly due to exhaustion or possible dehydration. According to officials, an ambulance was promptly arranged by the event organizers to take her to the hospital for treatment. But in a shocking allegation, the woman has now claimed that she was sexually assaulted by multiple individuals while being transported in that very ambulance. Based on her statement, the police have arrested 2 suspects so far. Their identities have not been officially released and further investigation is currently ongoing. Medical examinations and forensic tests are currently underway, and the police says that they are treating this case with the utmost seriousness. In fact, we'll continue to track this case as it unfolds.
I'm being joined at the moment by RJD spokesperson Dr. Ravi Shankar Ravi. I'm also being joined by political analyst Professor Sajjan Kumar. Let me start off with Mr. Ravi. Thank you for joining us. Now, as far as the situation in Bihar is concerned, we're seeing that a lot of people, including Nitish Kumar's own government's leader, we're seeing that Chirag Paswan has come out in question not just once but several times earlier as well. So right ahead of the elections, this is a big question mark over law and order in Bihar, because this is not an isolated incident that we're looking at. We're seeing several incidents that have taken place earlier where we're seeing a violation of law and order, including murder, shootings and rapes that have taken place in the state, sir.
Aarti, first of all, we just heard the statement from one of the spokesperson of JDU, who is saying that we can't imagine a state without crime. Crimes take place everywhere in every state. So this kind of an statement from a political party itself is extremely disappointing. Then what kind of an ideal situation a government would be imagining? The situation is deteriorating. We have seen that it's getting from bad to worse since the last so many months. Khemka's murder, Paras hospital shootout, and there is this rampant illegal activities by land mafia, sand mafia, drug mafia, and the drum beating of Sushashan Babu is, and Sushashan Babu is missing. We have not seen him addressing to the press on the issues of law and order situation since last so many months. Such shameful incidences have taken place, but the mic of the media have never reached the chief minister to take any of his statements. Having said that, I would also like to highlight the administrative situation in Bihar. See, the police department is already understaffed. I think 30 to 40% more police personnel are required, and antisocial elements because of the silence of the chief minister, and home ministry is in his hand.
Right.
So I'm sure these antisocial elements must be getting some kind of encouragement when the chief minister is silent, who is having the portfolio of home ministry. And
right, let me bring in the political analyst Professor Sajjan Kumar also joining us. Sir, now like Dr. Ravi Shankar Ravi was mentioning, the two interesting points he mentioned. One, the fact that there's a lack of enough police force in the state, and secondly the silence from the administration. And we also just heard the JDU leader say that it's perhaps not possible to look at a state without a crime rate. So this sort of a lack of responsibility, and we're also seeing Chirag Paswan come out and hit out at his own government. So these issues, if we look at it in the context of the elections that's coming up, it could be a big question for BJP, for Nitish Kumar itself.
Yes, precisely. This is quite a very shocking and critical situation, because this is not just one of the incident. In fact, if you see the audacity of the whoever was involved in it, knowing very well that she was participating in the Bihar military police recruitment, so you knew that there would be repercussion, and yet this incident happened, shows the kind of audacity that anti-social elements in the state are having right now, operating with impunity. Two, how do you mark the presence of the state or the government? One, by developmental measure, and two, by the law and order situation, right? On both these planks, you see, you compare Bihar to just the neighboring state of UP and Jharkhand, and then you see the developmental project is something which is stuck. It refuses to take off in this state. And two, when it comes to law and order situation, we are witnessing a series of crimes, be it about murder, kidnapping, violence, etc., that is becoming a pattern. Now, when the chief of the government refuses or doesn't seem to be quite proactive as he used to be, so this is politically, and when in a poll-bound state like Bihar, is very critical for the incumbent regime. Why? Because until recently, every time Nitish Kumar used to vouch about his credential to be given another mandate, he always used to give the reference of 1990s Lalu Prasad Yadav eras of Bihar, that look what was the condition and we have brought the change. And despite every disappointment and criticism in Nitish Kumar, there was a tangible support base in Bihar which used to buy that argument that yes, it is not something ideal, but certainly comparatively it is better than when a state seemed to be completely collapsed of entire 1990 to 2005. But what is happening now? If that was Jungle Raj Part 1, right, it seems to be Jungle Raj Part 2, almost sort of a comparable situation. In that scenario, mind it would really be difficult for the incumbent regime, be it BJP, be it Nitish Kumar, because you also find the cracks within the NDA alliance, and Chirag Paswan is one of the very vocal critique from inside, because this is a situation wherein there cannot be a partisan debate, and I agree with the Ravi Shankar Ravi ji, sort of, but only thing is that yes, the reference should not be now just 1990 to 2005. Now, Nitish Kumar's own state of affairs is a very critical and bad reference, particularly in a state wherein you have 60% of population under 25, right, who were born in new millennial, who have aspiration, but they all say is state of anxiety. If this is the state of Bihar, it's really a sorry state of affairs, and that way it shows that the state is missing, from people's imagination.
Right. Yes. Thank you, Sajjan Kumar and Ravi Shankar Ravi, for joining us. It seems in Bihar there's a bigger question to be addressed, or several issues underlying, perhaps unemployment, education, and lack of police force in the state as well. We'll continue tracking the story for you. Sources indicate that India and Pakistan will be in the same group in the Asia Cup. Sources also saying that India is likely to meet Pakistan thrice in the tournament. This is the latest detail coming in. Remember, this comes at a time when India and Pakistan diplomatically are still facing tensions after the Pahalgam terror attack and Operation Sindoor. Now, there were earlier questions of cooperation in sports between both countries. There were political leaders who were raising questions as well whether India should be participating with Pakistan in sports events. Now we're learning, as per sources, that India and Pakistan will be in the same grouping in the Asia Cup, and they're likely to meet thrice. My colleague Rika joins us with more details. Rika, take us to the latest we're hearing.
This is the first time since Operation Sindoor that India and Pakistan will face off against each other in cricket. Mohsin Naqvi, the Interior Minister of Pakistan, has just announced that Asia Cup will be held between 9th of September to 28th of September, and it will involve 8 participating teams. India are the hosts of this edition of the Asia Cup, and the tournament will be held in Dubai, in UAE, and in UAE. So the final schedule, final fixture will be out in the next 24 to 36 hours. BCCI is putting the final touches to the schedule. But what one learns from the sources is that India and Pakistan may play as many as 3 times during the tournament, once during the league stage, another time during the Super Fours, and if they manage to reach the final, that will be a 3rd time. So in the interest of commerce, in the interest of generating more and more interest among the fans, there will be the authorities will try to shoehorn in as many India-Pakistan matches as possible. 8 teams will be participating in the tournament, and this will be played in the 2020 format, keeping in view the next year's T20 World Cup.
Thank you, Rika, for joining us and bringing us those updates. More breaking news coming in. Remember, the battle for Tamil Nadu is underway. The state is going to be seeing assembly elections next year. Tamil Nadu's Chief Minister Stalin's fresh salvo were right before the Prime Minister set to arrive in Tamil Nadu. Remember, he's going to be there for 2 days on a tour where he's going to be inaugurating several projects. CM Stalin has now sent a petition to Prime Minister Modi where he's listed out projects that need work in the state. This, of course, will be carried forward to the Prime Minister by the Finance Minister, Tangam Tenarasu, is what we're learning. He's going to be handing over Stalin's memorandum to him. Remember, MK Stalin has been in the hospital since the start of this week. So his memorandum to the Prime Minister, which is going to be listing projects that are yet to be completed in the state, comes right ahead of the Prime Minister's visit. A political rout